Translucent waters shimmer. Emerald forests sway. Lofty mountains encircle.
I guess if there's a heaven, this is it, yeah.
Priest Lake is a paradise of many different shades. A glassy bay at dawn, sanctuary on a secluded beach, pathways through white powder, the challenge of an imposing spire.
Priest Lake is Idaho's crown jewel. It sits right up in the top of the state of Idaho, and what better way to cap it off?
The overwhelming beauty of this place is unmistakable. Its attraction magnetic. Priest Lake may be Idaho's most precious gem, our jewel of the North.
Funding for Outdoor Idaho is made possible by your contributions to the Friends of Idaho Public Television and by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
It's the least developed of the northern Big Lakes, but Idaho's crown jewel has been discovered. In the summertime, the beaches are crowded, and around the lake, the rustic cabins have given way to elegant retreats. Hi, I'm Bruce Reichert, and welcome to Outdoor Idaho. And yet there's something untouched, unspoiled about Priest Lake. Everywhere you look, there are scenes of enchantment and ample opportunities to escape into your own private paradise. This is truly one of the world's beautiful lakes. Sculpted by the advance of glaciers and molded during volcanic eruptions, Priest Lake is a natural masterpiece. Nestled in the northern tip of Idaho's panhandle, the lake rests in a sea of dense forests. Lush islands dot its alluring waters, while impressive mountains rise in all directions to frame its beauty.
The Priest Lake Basin covers almost 100 square miles, and what you see today is the result of what has happened geologically: past glaciation, climate, fires, and volcanic activity. The glaciers moved down about 10,000 years ago, and they truncated about midway on the lake, about Kalispell Island. The high peaks on the east side were exposed throughout the time of glaciation, so you have those cirque lakes and really craggy peaks.
Priest Lake itself stretches through the forests for 25 miles. It includes a massive lower lake connected to a small, pristine upper lake by a channel called the Thoroughfare. This stunning 2-mile-long waterway and the upper lake are both protected from development as the Upper Priest Lake Scenic Area. The name Priest Lake goes back to the Jesuit missionaries who came to the area in the 1840s. Native Americans had called the lake Caniksu, their word for black robes. But that name was eventually replaced by the easier to pronounce Priest Lake. After the missionaries, miners and loggers began to filter into northern Idaho. Some found their way to Priest Lake. On 8 Mile Island, a cabin built in 1897 to work a mining claim is still standing. The Vinther Nelson Cabin is now a National Historic Site and one of the lake's landmarks. In the 1920s, Priest Lake got a taste of Hollywood with the arrival of silent movie star and director Nell Shipman. She based her production company on the lake and made several films showcasing the area's rugged grandeur before running into financial difficulties.
She was a woman that wanted to make movies in the natural setting. We got well acquainted with her son Barry, who was 11 years old at the time that she came to Priest Lake.
Catherine Simpson began coming to Priest Lake not long after shipment. She first visited the lake way back in 1931, and 5 years after that, she was married here. The couple bought a cabin at the north end of the lake and eventually wrote a book about the area. 70 years later, the cabin's been remodeled, but Catherine's still spending her summers at the very same spot.
When we first came to this Beaver Creek spot, when we were married in 1936, we came with Cap Markham, and it was a steamboat. I have been coming to Priest Lake practically my whole life, and it's been one of my very favorite places to come. And that's all I missed when I was someplace else. I just feel comfortable here, and it's beautiful. It's probably one of the beauty spots of the world, and I've seen a lot of beautiful places in the world.
Like Catherine Simpson, many others have been drawn to the beauty of Priest Lake. In fact, tourism eventually supplanted logging as the main focus at the lake.
This lake offers 26,000 acres of crystal clear water where you can swim, boat, canoe, fish, water ski, aquaplane, and skin dive, or just loaf.
Today, the lake is reaching new heights of popularity, especially during the warm weeks of summer. Beaches are filled with sunbathers, boats dart across the swirling waters, and expensive new homes have sprung up at the water's edge. Even so, there are still many places where you can get away. Only about a quarter of the lake's shoreline is private, and a huge percentage of the greater basin is public land. There's over 500,000 acres here, managed primarily by the U.S. Forest Service or the Idaho Department of Lands. Though IDL manages much of the east side of the basin for timber and other revenue for schools, there's plenty of forest access. And the east side is also the location of two popular units of Priest Lake State Park. Meanwhile, on the west side of the lake and some of the islands, the Forest Service helps visitors experience a whole range of recreational opportunities.
Obviously, the focus is on the lake. People like to camp on the islands. They like to water ski, they like to swim, jet ski, and fish, do all those things that you can do on a lake this time of year. The thoroughfare is kind of a unique travel corridor that people like to boat up. It's available to both motorized boaters, canoers, and kayakers, and they boat up to the upper lake. There's dispersed camping at the upper lake. I think there's unlimited opportunities for different experiences.
One of the great experiences found at Priest Lake is island camping. Though there are plenty of campgrounds you can drive to around the lake, you can only reach these beaches by boat. Sandpoint resident Jane Stoll and her family come back every year for this unique camping environment.
It's not too busy, and the water is very clean and cool, and you're just far away from everything else. I think it's totally relaxing. I like being outdoors, and you look out and it's an incredible scene. I mean, it is like being dropped off on a travel poster.
Priest Lake is probably the prettiest lake I've ever seen. It's so clear. We have pictures and people are like, wow, are you guys in Hawaii? We're like, no, we're at Priest Lake. So it's just so beautiful. That's why I love it.
The water's so nice and it's so refreshing to jump into, and it's hot and you can just jump in whenever you want. It's right there. Go out in the boat. It's so pretty.
I feel like I never want to go home. I want to stay here forever.
The natural beauty of the area and the lake's remarkably clear water are captivating. Yet there is concern that new construction, continued logging, and other human activities may eventually impact the lake's clarity. Jill Cobb doesn't want to see that happen. She's been a hydrologist with the Forest Service here for 15 years, and her job is to monitor water quality.
My responsibility is to make sure the water coming off of our lands that we manage for the public is as clean as it can possibly be. I take that job very seriously. When I go out and I look at a stream, I'm looking for certain indicators that say whether or not the stream is healthy or not. And we have done our best to provide the best water quality we can off of our streams. And we have, within the Priest Lake Basin, 1,300 miles of perennial streams. Water quality at Priest Lake is probably among the best that you're going to find in the United States. And that's primarily because of the land use we have here. We're very careful with how we're managing our land on the Forest Service, and I'm sure IDL is the same as we are. And we have very forgiving ground.
Someone who really appreciates Priest Lake's transparent waters is Rich Lindsay. He's been fishing here for well over 30 years, most of that time as a guide. He enjoys helping visitors catch the lake's big Mackinaw and loves sharing his passion for both fishing and Priest Lake.
There you go. I try really hard to bring them back with a smile as bigger than the one they got on my boat with. And that's the best part about it. I get to see people enjoying why I'm here. And most of the people are seeing it for the very first time. They're impressed, and it's impressive to watch them be impressed by everything that's here. It's an awesome place. It's magic, you know, it really is. It's a magical place.
It's so magical that even on his days off, you can often find Lindsay right back on the lake. His daughter Jennifer is a regular passenger on the boat. She's grown up on these waters and, like her dad, has caught her share of fish.
I love it. You always catch fish. You can go fishing, go swimming, just always have fun. So, guaranteed a good time when you come up here.
I've been able to give this lake to my daughter. I can't think of a better thing that I could give someone. It's wonderful. This is what Idaho used to be. It still is what Idaho used to be.
Craig Hill knows the history and appeal of Priest Lake. His father started Hill's Resort in 1946, and now Craig is co-owner and manager. Though his work schedule keeps him very busy, Hill and friends like Dave Poole try to get a little skiing in nearly every day. From spring to fall, they're usually out on the lake just after sunrise to catch the glassy morning waters.
It's just the excitement of getting out of bed and walking out and having it be as pretty as it is, and laying down some tracks with some of your buddies. It just gets your heart going. To make those corners on that calm water, it's just the coolest feeling. You see how far down you can cut. After about, your run, you got your heart going at full speed.
Well, you're always on edge. You're just trying to figure out how far you go and push yourself. It's the best way to start your day. You come out here and you can just see how beautiful it is. There's sandy beaches everywhere, and that's why we call it Maui in the mountains. But it's just my favorite place in the world, and I keep coming back.
Priest Lake has become a favorite spot for many people. Though the majority of them flock here during the warm summer months, the lake's other seasons have a strong appeal. Winter is an especially picturesque time here, as soft white snows accent the evergreen forests and azure waters. The crowds may be gone, but there's still plenty to do. Cross-country skiing is one of the lake's popular winter pastimes. There are a number of scenic trails here, like this one at Priest Lake State Park.
Access is right along the lake, so people can have access to the place. You've got your mountain peaks, you've got your water, you've got trails. You can ask for anything to be in one spot. It's all right here. It's for the whole family. Anybody can do it. I mean, if you can walk, you can ski. And that's what we inform people. It's fun, it's inexpensive, it's just so peaceful, just very peaceful. I enjoy that we're actually the only ones out here today.
All you're hearing is just the sound as your skis go through the snow. That's all you hear. You don't have to worry about the sound of a motor or the smell of gas, anything like that. It just feels good to get out there, and you feel like you're floating on the snow up here. It's really beautiful. We just got a little bit of snow last night, and it just felt like velvet, just like we were skiing across velvet this morning. It was absolutely incredible. It was great. It's like going through feathers. It's nice.
Floating through the snow is a great way to experience a totally different side of Priest Lake.
Winter always changes everything, and to me winter always makes things look really clean and not sterile, but just a clean environment, and brightens everything up. I love the environment, the cool air, the fewer people that are around, the stillness of the lake. Typically it's a lot quieter. The snow always muffles everything too, and makes things a little more peaceful and quiet.
It's actually one of my favorite times of the whole year. I enjoy the summer. I think it's absolutely great, but to be up here in the winter time when it's totally quiet and you step out your door and all you hear is the wind, it's just, there's no place better. I can't even imagine being anywhere else.
And these people wouldn't want to be anywhere else but Priest Lake at this time of year. They say it's the perfect place to practice their demanding winter sport. For over 35 years, dog sled racers have gathered on the west side of the lake for this annual competition. Participants of all ages and skills are divided into a number of categories for their trek through the snow. It's a challenge for both local racers and sledders from around the country.
We thought through the years that Priest Lake would be a good place to have a sled dog race because we have great snow conditions. We've never had to cancel a race up here, and we knew it'd be a good spot. And I'm pretty proud of the fact that we have something that's lasted this long and has been this successful. I have a pretty good feeling about it.
I'm sure it's gorgeous any time of year, but it's beautiful up here in the wintertime. They've always had snow. They put on a great race here. It is just gorgeous country.
The beauty of the area and the great snow conditions lend themselves perfectly to another winter sport. It's sometimes called sledding too, but big motors power these sleds. Snowmobiling has become one of the most popular winter pursuits in the Priest Lake area.
Priest Lake is a great all-around destination for snowmobilers. You know, you've got a fantastic trail system of over 400 miles that circumvents the forest and goes around one of the prettiest lakes in Idaho. There's not another trail system that I can think of in Idaho that goes completely around one of our largest lakes. It's spectacular.
Mike and Tracy Zabinski are expert snowmobilers. They're also managers and co-owners of Elkins Resorts on the lake. With all those trails at their doorstep, anytime they get a break, they can't wait to jump on their machines.
It really puts a smile on my face. When we're out here riding, you kind of forget anything else you've been working on or thinking about. It draws your attention to snowmobiling and being out here and enjoying the area. And a lot of times you go out and do something that just pumps the adrenaline through your body, and it's just a great feeling and just makes you want to smile and do it more.
I think it's exhilarating. The exploration that you do out here is amazing on the machines and with their technology. We can get, 40 and 50 miles away from the parking lot, and every day is a new adventure. That's what makes it really special. I'd have to say we're in God's country. It's like a religious experience out here. Every time you come out, you just pretty much say, wow. It makes you feel great.
Feeling inspired is a refrain you often hear from those who venture into this high country. It's a feeling that transcends modes of travel or seasons of the year. And when the Selkirks aren't covered in snow, hikers and climbers hit the trails to experience the magic of these mountains. This group has already negotiated a long four-wheel drive road and is now hiking toward one of the area's most inspiring and well-known landmarks, Chimney Rock. Two climbers in the party, Scott Hill and Jameson Warren, plan to tackle the spire. Scott, like his brother Craig, grew up at the lake and now co-owns and manages Hill's Resort. His friend Jameson has been visiting the area for much of his life. He and Scott have climbed in many places, but these mountains are among their favorites.
It's just pristine, you know, pristine natural beauty and hardly any people. Not that many climbers. That's an opportunity I think as climbers you don't get to experience many places. Up here, it's just quiet and nice. There's no one to bug you, and of course there's no one to rescue you either. It's kind of a push-pull thing with rock climbing because it's dangerous, and yet the attraction is to get as far away from civilization as you can and go on the hardest routes you can and make it safe, I guess.
For me, rock climbing is about being completely in the present. And you really are thinking about that very next move. You're just thinking about where you're going to put your hand and your feet, and you're breathing in this fresh air, and it's in this beautiful mountain range. So I think that for me, it's sort of about communing with nature, but also it's about finding some quiet personal space. And it's interesting that you can do both of those things at the same time.
Photographer Tom Holman joined the group to capture images of the climb. He's a local resident who's taken thousands of pictures of the area. For him, it's a place with unlimited opportunities for photographs.
There's a multitude of different things. In my lifetime, I'll never see them all. The vistas from all these different peaks, there's spots that I'm never going to find, waterfalls that I've been told about from different people that I have yet to get there. The mountaintops that probably would take 2 or 3 days to actually hike into them. There's just so much to see, and I'm just not going to get it all. But I'm going to try to get as much as I can in my lifetime.
With Holman documenting the climb, Hill and Warren reached the top of Chimney Rock. From here, they can see some of the amazing vistas that make Priest Lake country so compelling.
This one's particularly special because it's above tree line and you have amazing views when you're on the top. You can see Priest Lake right there, and when you stare north to Canada, it just goes on forever.
The scenery at Priest Lake does seem to stretch forever. From layered mountain vistas to towering groves of ancient cedars, tumbling waterfalls to succulent huckleberries. And at the center of it all, those crystalline waters of the lake, shimmering under tree-lined banks, lapping at sandy shorelines, reflecting the soft hues of a summer sunset.
I love the pristine quality of the whole lake and just the solitude. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous up here, and it's just peaceful all the time. No matter where you go, even if there's a crowd somewhere, you can get away from it and just enjoy the scenery and the mountains. They're spectacular up here. They're breathtaking to get back up into the backcountry and look out at the peaks, and then you look out on the lake and it just looks like this beautiful jewel out there. It's amazing. There's no place better on earth.
The serenity, the cleanliness of the water, it's crystal clear. You can see the bottom, being up in the mountains, watching the weather change. I mean, all those things are what make this place pretty special.
I enjoy Priest Lake because of everything that it has to offer. There's so much for everyone to enjoy, from all kinds of aspects of sports, hiking, finding a spot to read your book, to photography, you name it, it's there for everybody.
I think the folks that love to live at Priest Lake love the freedom of living at Priest Lake. There's a lot of public lands for everybody to enjoy equally. A lot of wildlife. It's pretty often that you can see a moose. You can go fishing and see osprey and eagle. There's a lot of reasons to love living at Priest Lake. I think it's a very peaceful place. I think it's a beautiful place. It's a place that hasn't really been marked too much by progress. So you still have a lot of the old gems that people really came here for. Beautiful water, it's the way of life, it's slower. I think that's why people come to Priest Lake and stay here.
There's something about Priest Lake. She's got this magical embrace. I mean, if you've come back here enough times, it will envelop you and you won't be able to deny it. It'll be here. You will understand the draw, the magnetism that it has. It's pretty amazing.
Funding for Outdoor Idaho is made possible by your contributions to the Friends of Idaho Public Television and by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. All Outdoor Idaho programs are available on video cassette, including hour-long specials called Designing Idaho, Idaho Edens, and Idaho and Angler's Paradise. To order, call our toll-free number. For more details about this show and other Idaho Public Television offerings, look for us on the World Wide Web.